So Videology.
Yes.
Let's start sort of on the supply side and move our way through the platform and the ecosystem, right?
Absolutely.
You guys are really focused on serving your publishers from the perspective of yield optimization and some of the stuff you're doing. Can you talk me through that product suite and what you're offering is a little bit?
Absolutely. So at the core of it, we have our optimization engine. It's a complex algorithm, and the whole purpose of that is really being able to optimize and yield the best performance for the demand partners, which ultimately results in the highest opportunity for the media owners or our media partners. And how we do that is we work very closely with our media partners. We work with a whole subset of media partners, everything from premium broadcast quality content to exchanges as well. And we integrate with all these partners. And what we try to do is through the platform, we're able to identify what works, what doesn't in terms of the various KPIs that our advertisers are looking for, and we can optimize against that. So it's not really just a problem set of, let's say, optimizing price or optimizing a priority set, but it's really about how do we achieve the best results for our clients on the demand side, which will ultimately result in an increase in value for the media that we're bringing in.
So tell me about the connective tissue, right? Because, I mean, I think that's a big part of it is that there is this misconception that it's two sides fighting against one another, but the reality is if you're delivering ROI for better media for publishers, it's probably flowing through to advertisers. So tell me a little about what you're seeing on the platform.
I think the connective tissue is really important. If you have them separated, you're not going to be able to achieve the best results. So it starts anywhere from the beginning, understanding from a media point of view, what are you looking for? What kind of content are you looking for? What kind of formats are you looking for? What sort of demographics are you looking for? And from that point onwards, you can kind of move backwards and understand, okay, this is the profile of the media that's going to work best for these different types of demand partners. And then from there, it also moves into understanding the performance of these different media sets. And it allows us to be able to work together with the media partners to understand, okay, you know, what works, what doesn't, and how can we help them bring in media that actually works better for our advertiser partners. And you can't do that unless you're connected.
And what are you seeing as far as trends or movement goes in regards to publishers and first-party data and having a data strategy and getting smarter? Are you seeing the needle move in the right direction?
Definitely, we're starting to see efforts coming in, and you're definitely starting to see publishers work together with data companies to help them understand more about their audiences. And that will only bring value across the ecosystem, so that's really, really important. I still think that there are, various factors that are holding us back. Privacy still is one. Understanding how to commercialize the data is another, and I think that's probably the biggest one. But the good news is that publishers are actually starting to jump in and starting to work around it and understand how they can value this data, how they can set it up, and how they can actually manage it and execute against it in a compliant way that conforms with their policies back in the corporate world.
Okay, so I want to talk about platforms now and channels, right? Because mobile, we see audiences migrating so quickly in mobile, specifically for video.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing to sort of address that? Because that's sort of the industry with which is challenged.
It's key, and it's really funny because mobile for us has really been almost supply-driven versus demand-driven. I think on the demand side, we see an interest in mobile, but the interest in mobile there is for a cross-device, kind of platform-agnostic type of approach, which is great. But where we're seeing the real push into mobile is actually by working together with our supply-side partners. Some of our partners have seen a dramatic shift over the last year in terms of the audience composition moving from PC viewing to mobile viewing. And that's mobile viewing via tablet or smartphone, just, cross-device. And the way that we're working towards, how can we integrate this into the overall campaigns is working together closely with these mobile media owners. In order for mobile to scale, we're going to need to be able to integrate mobile as we do with PC, which means having universal frequency capping, which means being able to target as we do across PC. And being that mobile largely is a cookieless environment, that poses a lot of challenges. So, by working together with the mobile owners and content providers and working together in terms of providing solutions for us being able to have a unique device ID or a unique identifier that we can then use and build on in terms of actually delivering the campaign. And also working with them together in terms of understanding what is the profile of that impression. Do they have the data? Do they have anything that can help us identify a little bit more deeply the profile of that user, or also being able to work with third parties who could match whatever we're obtaining from the mobile operator, or the mobile providers, I should say, to any sort of other data sets in the ecosystem is really important. So I think with mobile, being creative and cooperation across media owners as well as third-party data providers is really vital.
So over the next kind of 18 to 24 months, or 12 months really, because that's the world we live in, it's so quick.
Yeah.
What is going to have the biggest impact? Like, what's the biggest business challenge, but also what has the potential to sort of be the hockey stick?
Yeah, I mean, certainly for me, the biggest impact is supply. We're quality supply constrained in the market, and we're starting to see demand really grow, which is great. But that demand will grow only if we have the quality content that these advertisers are looking for. TV brand advertisers require a certain level of content. So what's going to shift the dial, I think, is really having access to a larger pool of supply, which in my opinion is going to be driven by mobile. But that means that we're going to have to overcome these challenges that I mentioned earlier on. It's having transparency more transparency into where the advertising is running via all these different supply sources. And I think also it's going to be looking at formats that are acceptable to TV advertisers that are going to help us grow organically the overall supply.